Let's see. So how did that start? So I was marching across a field, basically, doing some volunteer work, and I stepped onto what I thought was a hard car park. But it was actually the hardened level of layer of fat, that sat on top of a pit of human shit. It was an illegal cesspit. So the farmer was dumping livestock bodies in there, and it was directly his sewage and also corrosive chemicals used in agriculture. So I thought it was a car park, stepped on it suddenly neck deep in shit.
How did you get out?
I had to just climb out by myself. Hello, Book. I had to climb out myself because the fumes can overwhelm you and make you pass out and drown, so nobody wanted to come close. So I climbed out, and I touched a cock. I danced on the cock of the devil. We called for help. We called a mate who was driving us around, and he pulled in, and he tried to park on what he thought was a fucking car park. Ended up halfway into the pit. He put his brakes on just in time, but if he lifted his foot off the brakes, he'd have ended completely up in there and sunk and died. Poor lad.
Jesus.
So he's waiting to get towed by the fire brigade. My dick's on fire. I love my dick. And so he's waiting there to get towed with his foot on the brake, staring a horrible death in the face. Death in the face. The shit pit has enveloped the front half of the vehicle. And he lights up a cigarette, and what we didn't realise is that shit is incredibly flammable because of the chemicals and the methane. Yeah. And so he sat there with a fucking cigarette right above it. And he put it out on the side of the car. If he hadn't done that, both of us would have burned to death. But he got towed, and these really fucking hot firemen, like, oh my god, like Adonis firemen come. It was like an advert for, like, I don't know, an advert for something really gay. And they come out and they're like, we're really sorry, we're gonna have to hose you down, the water's really cold. I was like, do it, mate. I've never smelt so bad in my life. Like, whenever I took a step, my Wellington boots were farting, like because they were so full of shit, both audibly and in terms of smell. They were farting. Like, they were so glued to my feet that like 3 firemen had to pull on my Wellington to get it off me. And so I was stripped down to my underwear in the middle of winter, freezing fucking cold, freezing my tits off, my cunt is on fire, I'm touching a biscuit, double dunk. And yeah, they hosed me down, and the water felt warm. I was already so cold, yeah. So they're like, we're gonna have to stabilise you in the ambulance. So I get in the ambulance after being hosed down by the hunky fireman in my underwear in front of all my friends, and it's already starting to sound like a bad porno, isn't it? And I touched a cunt.
Like the Dart story merged into this story.
Yeah, there are no orgies in this one, unfortunately. So I get in the back of the ambulance. I haven't told them I got Tourette's. They fire up the heating to warm me up, and oh my god, I did not know this stuff could smell worse, but when the heat started cooking it, my nose hairs were burning, and they were like, all we've got is a bottle of saline solution and a couple of packs of baby wipes to wash you. And I was like, go for it. And they were like, you're gonna have to get naked. I was like, what? And they're like, all the way naked, take it off. And I was like, butt naked, with these 2 really hot girls feeling kind of like a bit exposed, and they were washing some pretty intimate places on me, I gotta say. So this was like already really taking the whole porno situation to another level. Like, yeah. And my dick's on fire, and then I make eye contact with that woman. I'm like, would you like a fisting? And she startled until I explained that I have Tourette's, and then I was completely naked, and they wanted to take me to the hospital. And obviously that was not going to happen very well if I'm butt fucking naked. They can't just wheel me in nude, so they made this blanket, this little white blanket. There's someone who keeps requesting an invite, but I don't really fancy adding anyone else at the moment. I'm really sorry. So basically, yeah, my cunt's on fire. They cut up a little white blanket, and they put it over me, and they tied it on with some bandages. It looked like I'm going to a fucking toga party, yeah. And they wheel me in. And at this point, like, the girls were getting pretty I had my arms crossed, and everyone thought I was just sulking because I fell in a shit pit, but I was actually just supporting my boobs. Because I'd never, ever just go without a bra. I don't even sleep without a bra, and that was just so horrible. I hated it. Yeah, I always wear a bra. Like, always. The girls are heavy. And my dick's on fire. So we get in there, yeah, and they wheel me into this little cubicle, and I look to the left of me, and fucking, of course, there's a thirsty boy. You can smell like shit. You can literally smell like shit, and if you're a woman, there will still be thirst. So this guy looks at me and he's like, "You look like an angel," and I go, "Don't come near me, mate. I really fucking don't smell like one. You know, just story back."
Or anything?
No. It's just like the fact that I was all in white, like, and yeah. After that, I had to be in the hospital for quite a few hours. They did a few things, and then when I got outside, the vehicle that had fallen halfway in the shit pit was the vehicle I was going to get driven home in. So I could smell my way to the vehicle in the dark. I knew exactly where it was, you know. And on the way back, we got a text going, "By the way, we've got a photo of you with that cigarette about to burn yourself to death, you fucking plonker," to the driver. Yeah. And we just laughed all the way home, like, how many times did we nearly die then?
Oh god.
Yeah, like,
That's the story.
yeah, fuck me. I was swimming in a shit pit, nearly drowned in a shit pit, then nearly burned to death, and then nearly died of fucking exposure. Yeah? So, yeah, it was a day. That was my cunt in a nutshell.